AI can write your captions, edit your reels, and even answer your DMs. But is it making your life easier or sabotaging your brand?
We're diving into the good, the bad, and the ugly of AI and social media. And trust us, this isn't your typical tech bro hype.
Definitely not. So let's start with the positives, because love it or hate it, AI can really save people time, especially in social media and marketing. For example, you can do so much with captions.
Yes.
I remember when we had a client that was in the baby swaddle industry, how many captions could we write about swaddling a baby? And we're not mothers ourselves. So we were really having to dig deep. And AI was giving us so many different ways to go about it, how to start it, and how to bring up their value proposition. So it helps you brainstorm ideas a lot faster. Also, image and video editing, tools like Canva AI, Adobe Firefly. Even today, I was uploading some of our photos for the podcast onto Instagram stories. And the podcast, a lot of the stills or thumbnails that I pull from the actual video, they're horizontal, but I wanted them to be vertical. And Canva had, for stories, and Canva has a tool called Magic Expand. And it's insane, and I think everyone should try it. You could put a horizontal photo or even a vertical photo, have it crop it, extend it, or make it full size, and it adds the rest.
Yeah.
So it added the shells above me.
I see a lot of platforms that we use, like Canva, Oracles, like they've all integrated AI. So it's like we don't even need sometimes separate ones.
It's great. It's awesome. And then also scheduling and analytics. There's a lot of smarter recommendations now, and they're using algorithms to come about that. So even if you think, I think all of my audience, they want to see my posts in the morning, analytics might say, okay, well, actually, your audience is online Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday morning, switch around your schedule.
Yeah, I see sometimes recommended times or recommended hashtags that they like to include.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, using AI is like having an unpaid intern who never sleeps, never complains, and works at lightning speed with keyword assistance, because you still need to be there behind the scenes, giving direction, just as if someone new in the team. You need to guide them on how to get from A to B.
It's so true. I went to a conference not too long ago, and the speaker, they were saying treat AI as a Harvard intern, probably the smartest intern you'll ever work with, probably top of class, but they're still an intern. You still want to check their work. You still have to make sure it sounds like you. They might be a genius, but that genius is not going to replace your ability to have personality and to stand out from just like robotic sounding words.
They don't have the experience and touch that we do, of course.
Exactly.
We're not robots.
Exactly. And so it's funny because I was about to say that AI isn't magic, and Canva and their tools, a lot of their tools, they have like Canva Magic, AI Magic, Magic Resize, Magic this. They use the word magic all the time. Yeah, Magic Write. They love the word magic for their AI tools, but it's important to know that it's not magic. It is a tool to use, but it's not the end all be all, and it's not going to replace the legwork that also needs to go in there. It's just going to help that legwork.
Yeah, I mean, I always look at it as like my creative assistant, and that you're still creative director.
Yes.
We're the brand. We're still the brains, but they're the hands who are doing all the work for you.
Yes. So that's going to lead us going into where the nightmare begins. We could do a little like dun, dun, dun. Because the big pitfalls, there's three. So there's generic content, hallucinations, and over-reliance. And I'll go into those three. So generic content is when brands all sound the same. I know a lot of times we've seen when brands don't put their own voice or tone into like a ChatGPT, for example, it sounds like every other brand.
Yeah, I mean, I think you and I can easily spot like an AI generated caption when we're scrolling on our feed.
My big thing is dive into. Like ChatGPT, AI loves the word dive. Dive into this blog post, dive into this article, dive into this sale. Yes, literally diving is too much.
Especially for like, a great example is for Windows. Dive into.
That was so funny. We were with an Impact Windows client, and it was like, dive into the world.
The magic of
Impact Windows. And it's like, no, people don't want to dive into that world. They just want to know that when a hurricane comes, they're safe, or that they don't have to put up shutters.
Or just easily learn more.
Exactly. Like they don't care about diving into that world. Just want to know, how does it benefit me? And is it going to be really expensive?
Exactly.
So we talked about generic content. I mentioned hallucinations. So when I say that, it's wrong facts, misquotes, or risky claims. There's been times where I've dropped in full articles, ChatGPT and other tools, and said, pull out quotes that I can use for a LinkedIn post or a social media post. it redoctored the quotes completely. You cannot post that. You have to
not recognizable.
Right. You have to pull the right quote. And also it's definitely misquoted and it definitely did give wrong factual information, presenting it as facts. I know there was an episode, this is years ago when ChatGPT first came out, but it's still doing this, with Robin Roberts on Good Morning America. They asked about her history and her past, and they said she won some award when she was an athlete. And she's like, I never won that award. Like, that'd be great, but no.
Thanks,
But
Chat.
imagine, right, but imagine someone doing like a school paper or even writing a book
Yeah.
and quoting that, and it's so wrong. And what your source is, ChatGPT. So you really have to know the actual facts of what's going on. And the third thing to talk about was over-reliance. So you don't want to lose your authentic voice and your authentic vibe. I know when I had Marcy on the podcast a couple episodes ago, who's a beauty editor, I think what's fun about her content is her voice.
Yeah.
She's witty, she's sharp, she's quick, and she goes viral pretty often on social media because of that. And because social media is almost lacking that because people get so comfortable in AI and relying on other tools, it's refreshing to stand out. It's refreshing to be different. So you don't want to over rely on that and lose your voice.
Even when you do direct chat to make the content witty or punchy, it's just like doesn't really hit correctly, or it just doesn't really read correctly. And it's just like not, it's something you have to do yourself.
Exactly.
And then let's not forget the bias. AI only knows what it's trained on. So if you're not fact checking, you could be spreading misinformation. This is something I was talking about earlier today. For example, someone downstairs in our co-working space was trying to think of a hashtag for a campaign. And we were trying to think of something like we just said, witty, punchy. And I was like, we'll use chat. And he was like, well, chat's wrong, or it just sucks. And I was like, well, that's user error because I don't have that problem at all. And I was like, what you have to do is you have to feed in information based on this brand that he's working on. It's very specific in what they like and just have their own very specific vibe as they should.
Yes. And when I give presentations and speak at different conferences, I have this big slide that I put up, and it's super funny, but it's literally trash going in and then to ChatGPT and then trash going out of ChatGPT. It's just a visual of that because it's trash in and trash out. Like you said, it has bias. We talked about false claims. There's a lot that it just doesn't know.
Yeah.
And it only knows what you teach it. So you have to put as much in as you can. I mean, I gave it a long prompt yesterday. I think my prompt I gave it was like 5 paragraphs for 2 sentences that I needed just revised. But I went into so much detail that it had no room for error.
Yeah.
But if you give it nothing, like I said, trash in, you're going to get trash out.
Exactly. I mean, he gave it a trash prompt and it did it, and everything was awful. And I was like, because he started a new folder and with no previous information, whenever I start on like a new client or new project, I always input like past projects or great examples.
Yes.
And that's something I remember we've learned before at a conference, is to always make folders for each client. And that way you're constantly like
learning.
The folder is constantly learning. Before I just had it like a messy folder for a little bit, and oh my God, the difference now.
It's very true. And that bias can really hurt a company's credibility. You know, you mentioned the bias. I'm going back to it because if it's not aligned with your company's values or with who you are as a person, and you're just taking it for face value or taking somebody else's values that it's learned or whatever's out there on the internet at the moment. So you really want to be authentic to you because, you know, the worst case is you're saving time, but you're losing trust. And that's going to cost way more than it is to gain.
And even as an agency, you don't want to be publishing this information on behalf of your client if it's not fact-checked, etc.
It's very true. And people want you. They don't want a robot.
Yeah, if your content is feeling too polished, too sterile, you lose that human connection. And at the end of the day, like you said, social media is social. So we need to have that human connection rather than just perfect polish.
Yes. And we see that in a lot of podcast episodes, how social media is social, like you said. And then also people forget that second part of it. It's a social network. Like you want to network with people. You want to have conversations, connections. And you can't rely on AI for that. So while we're beating AI up, we can also talk about the good of AI and, you know, finding that balance. So how can you make AI your assistant, but not your replacement?
So you want to start with using AI for your drafts, and then, you know, like we said, prompting it with information, maybe creating like an October content guide of what we can create for content for that month, and use October specific holidays, recognitions, etc. And then in that moment, you want to tweak it by adding your voice.
Yes. I also find it's really good for repetitive tasks, like we talked about with the swaddles, or talked about with holidays or certain things that you can rinse and repeat, AI can learn and can really continue to do that. Also, something else I love too is we rely heavily on reporting for our clients. A lot of our clients do not want to read some of these reports that we pull with some of our platforms and tools and advanced software that we, pay heavily for. It could be sometimes 130 pages, 150 pages of stats for the month of social media.
And it looks like
it's a lot,
right? And very
so what client wants to read all of that? Or sometimes they don't understand it.
Yeah.
So it's fun to drop that giant report into ChatGPT or any other AI tool and say, okay, so pull out what the client needs to know, or pull out like areas of concern, or make charts.
Make this digestible content.
I had a client recently where they were doing a year to date. So they wanted to know all the stats from January to August, and they wanted to know what was important about that. And I dropped every single report, so 8 reports, almost 200 pages each, into social media and had it create beautiful graphs and charts for me. And they were like, okay, we get it. We're like, oh, wow, like the thought leadership content is soaring. Let's do more.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have that tool, but that still took my brain power to put that together and my brain power to then
you still had to
decipher
prompt
the
it
results
really well to get those responses. And like we said before, in repetitive tasks, one of them is for community engagement. So we often have a specific way for one of our clients and how we respond to our UGC. So I asked AI to give me more examples of these great responses, just because it was, of course, taking a little bit of time to come out with new responses.
But still staying in that brand voice.
Exactly. So with the right direction it saved me time.
Yes. And that's really what it's about. It has to save time and it has to be part of your workflow. And I do believe that if you don't embrace AI, the world will continue on without you. AI is going to keep growing. And you don't want to be that person, that old person 50 years from now that's like, I told you AI is going to take over the world. Like, embrace it. Learn how to use it. And I think also being honest with your company, your clients. If anyone asks us if we use it, we're always honest about it and how we use it. And I will tell you, we have clients of ours who've tried using it and they don't do it the way we use it. And they are like, I don't get it, or I hate it, or
I've even seen in the past, it's like, we don't use AI here. And we were like,
yes. So it's we put a lot of the legwork in, so you don't know it, but yes,
tell.
Right. And it's very obvious when clients do. Also those M-dash that ChatGPT's been adding everywhere.
That they shove down our throats.
Oh my goodness. I say no.
We said no more.
No.
Banned from Goat Social.
Exactly. But really, I think the best part of it is brainstorming, editing. We also do a lot of video editing with AI for captioning.
Caption generating. I mean, who's adding all of that? That's time saving.
Yes. And it's worth every penny, because when people are watching video content, there was a stat recently that, people will actually skip a video if it doesn't have closed captioning, because you don't know where people are watching this. Maybe they're waiting in the doctor's office or waiting to pick up their kid from school, yada, yada.
I have headphones.
Exactly. So the captions matter. But to be able to produce all this content for clients or even for yourself and have to manually check the captions, to check the spelling.
I mean, we're still doing that. Oftentimes I have to go back and
But AI is a lot smarter than if it was pulled from Instagram or if we had to do it ourselves.
Yes. So, I mean, no matter what your industry is, this workflow works for you. You start with drafting AI, you review for clarity, tweak for your voice, and then schedule.
And batching in this way can really save you time. We had a whole episode about content batching and brainstorming, and starting with AI for that part of the batch really can make it go so much faster.
We also love using AI for brainstorming, like having a second creative brain in the room. Like we said, you're still the creative director, but they're more of your creative assistant.
Yeah, and AI is a tool. It's the pen, but it's not the author.
You never want to start and finish your campaign with AI. I mean, I've seen it before and it's just so obvious. I've seen other brands have no human touch behind the screen. And the logos are all over the place. It's very graphic heavy. The captions don't match what has been posted before by humans. And sometimes the information is just wrong. There's links when there shouldn't be. It's truly missing. It's
obvious.
Yeah.
And who knows if this episode is listened to years from now and AI is way better than it is now. But at the moment, this is where we're at.
Yeah. I mean, it knows what it's been taught. So that's what we're working with now.
Exactly. So AI can be your best assistant, but only if you treat it like one.
The nightmare comes when you hand over the keys and walk away. Strategy and authenticity always wins.
So here's our challenge for you. Try AI on one part of your process this week, whether it's for captions, for imaging, or for research, and see how much time it saves you, and see if you can find a good balance in your prompts.
Then TM us or tag at You Heard It Here podcast and tell us, did it feel like your new assistant or your new worst nightmare?